Welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be teaching you the 2-card monte. Today when I do the trick, I'm going to be keeping both my hands in the deck in full view of the camera. Some of you sitting at home will pick up on some of the moves before I explain them. That's the joy of watching it on video. There's no such thing as misdirection. But I'm going to give you a bit of pattern so that when you're doing this on the street, you're going to be fooling 99.9% of the people who don't know about this trick. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is sort of what the game would look like when you're doing it on the street. You get your spectator and you explain to them, not that you're doing a trick, but you're going to actually teach them a little bit of a game. It sort of lets their guard down when you're teaching them a game rather than showing them a trick. Starts out, there's only 2 cards, best to remember. I've got the Ace of Hearts here. I don't want you to remember this as the Ace of Hearts. I just want you to remember as the heart. And just hold that just like that. Okay, so they're holding on to it. They got a pinch between their fingers. You say, if you don't trust me, you can even take a peek at that card. As they're taking a peek at that card, you've got your Ace of Diamonds ready. Once they, place it back face down, you say, okay, remember you've got heart. This is the diamond. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the diamond for the ace. That's how the game is played. So right now I've got heart, you've got diamond. Now I'm going to try and switch them a little bit quicker, but I'm going to give you a way that you can actually cheat at the game. You're going to pinch onto that diamond a little bit tighter than normal so that I cannot switch the heart to the diamond. Are you ready? Here comes the switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. There's the switch. Now would you be impressed if that card was now the heart and the top card was now the diamond? And as they're looking at those cards, you simply reach into your pocket and say, you know what? I always win at this game because I keep the hearts and diamonds in my pocket. Here's the exposed view of the 2-card monte. The setup looks like this. You start out with an ace. Today I'll be using a red ace and 2 contrasting cards. So I've got 2 black queens and then another red ace from top to bottom. So I've got red ace, 2 black contrasting cards, and another red ace. You place those on top. You can start out with a little bit of a pinky break. A pinky break, you should be using just a little bit of the fleshy part of your finger under the card. Hopefully you can all see that. It should not be visible from the side. If somebody's looking at it from this side, this should look flush. These fingers should be covering that little bit of a gap in here. And then from this side, it should not be visible. It should only be visible from the back, which is facing towards you. You start by taking the top card, which is actually the Ace of Hearts. You can get them to hold on to the Ace of Hearts. Tell them, if you don't trust me, you can take another peek at that card. Most people will look at the card. If they don't look at the card, you can say, oh, you actually do trust me. If they look at it, oh, you actually don't trust me. They'll usually laugh at that. While they're looking at that card or explaining that, oh no, they actually do trust you, they're not going to look at the card. You're going to do your triple lift. For the triple lift, it's fairly easy. You've already got your pinky break. Just push up a little bit on the card, grab the 2 corners. It'll keep the cards nice and flush. Just kind of rotate them over your pinky. Make sure they're nice and square against the thumb. And here you can actually have a fairly large break. Now it doesn't really matter if it's visible. You can even have the card, hovering above a large space above those cards, or just stick it in and stick your pinky in there with a large break. Explain you've got the Ace of Diamonds, they've got the Ace of Hearts. When you flip over this triple, you want to be careful that you're not doing it in a conspicuous manner or in a way that looks fishy. What you just simply want to do is stick your finger into the break, grab the card, flip them over, just let them fall down, sort of like closing a book, just kind of toss it. That falling motion will really give them the impression that it's just a single card, because now you're lifting off one of the queens. So you take off the card and explain to them, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up the cards. You stick this one on top, take the other one out, and it's very important as you're doing this. Let's take that back. They've got the Ace of Hearts. You've got the Queen of Clubs. As you're sticking that card in and taking the Ace of Hearts, I always bring it to the top and I'll grab on to the other card so that they can't look at it, because lots of times when you do this switch and you say I've got the ace, you don't want them flipping the card over and ruining the trick halfway through. So as you take the card from that, flip it over, place it on top of their card, and grab both of those cards so they can't look at that card. Now you can explain to them, I'm going to try and switch them again, but hold on to that card a little bit tighter. At this point they're really going to be pinching that card. So now you don't have to worry about them looking at it. They're pretty sure it's the ace of diamonds and they're really securing that card. So now you can pretend to do your switch. As you're getting ready to do your switch, you're going to do your get ready, which is simply pushing one card over to the side and back, and you can maintain a fairly large pinky break. You don't have to worry about it being concealed now. Nobody's going to be watching this hand. As you're doing the switch, they're really focused in on their card. 1, 2, 3. Would you be impressed? As you're coming back, what you're doing is you're coming to the top of the deck, putting this card here, grabbing the next card with your index finger, and flipping the deck over, stealing that second card out, coming around, flipping the deck over, pointing. Would you be impressed if this card was now, the other card? Give it a moment or two, sort of let them get a visual of you holding this card separate to the deck. Place the card back. Would you be impressed? Yada yada. As they're looking at the cards, you can do your get ready again. Push out 2 cards, and place your hand over the deck and keep these in a palm position. As they're looking at it, they're surprised. They think the card trick's done. You say, you know what? I actually, boom, reach into your pocket. Keep these 2 cards in my pocket. The camera light just went out. But that's how you do the 2-card money.